What's up, NBA fans? What's up, all sports fans? This your boy JB, host of the Behind the Bench Podcast Network channel. Giving a shout out to the rest of the crew: Shaq, Kelvin, Jermaine, KB Film Room, Big Dog, Talk Sports. That's right, that's right. Everyone who's tuning in, thank you for supporting Behind the Bench. Become a subscriber and help make this show the best that it can be. And we're just gonna keep on plugging on, man. We're gonna try to provide the best content possible. And as I've been saying, I'm learning how to. It's just taking me a little time. I've been pressed for time, learning how to incorporate video footage into my presentation, just to make it more entertaining. Because I know my videos are long, and when I get really hyped, man, I just have to express what I'm feeling in full detail. But once we get that going, man, we're gonna go top notch. We're gonna go top notch. But I want to set the stage for something, man. I remember when Michael Jordan was giving his Hall of Fame induction speech, and he was talking about, how when he retired the first time, and during the next couple of years, he crossed paths with Brian Russell of the Utah Jazz, and Russell would kind of, try to talk trash to him and try to prod at him and say, "Hey man, why did you retire, man? Why did you retire the way you did, man? I was looking forward to beating you and guarding you and shutting you down." He said at some point Jordan walked up to him and said, "You know what, Brian? You about to get your chance. You about to get your chance." Well, that set the stage for what I want to talk about, man. And I'm telling you, in this age of here go another perfect example. Do you notice after the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs, well, that had been about a week, almost 2 weeks ago, coming up in the Super Bowl. You remember leading up to that game when they say if Kansas City three-peat, it'll be the greatest team ever? And if Mahomes wins the third straight Super Bowl, he's gonna overtake Tom Brady as the GOAT. Now, mind you, Tom Brady had just been retired. He only been retired for 2 years. He ain't even put on his Hall of Fame jacket, and they was ready to cast him to the side for Pat Mahomes. Do you realize all that talking stopped? I mean, like another drop of water. it's like they shut that faucet to the point, man, where you can't even turn the knob. That chatter has ended, man. This is where sports commentary is. They're so quick to elevate, man. They want to see the next great, but what they don't understand, man, like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan did not become Michael Jordan until he became Michael Jordan. Meaning, he wasn't viewed as the greatest player ever. He wasn't viewed as the greatest player in the game until he showed us what he was capable of as a rookie when he entered the league averaging 28 points a game, 6-6. Didn't nobody see that coming. You couldn't predict it. So that's why I say Michael Jordan did not become Michael Jordan until he became Michael Jordan. So what I'm getting at is, man, people who tune into this channel, they know I'm a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers, man. And I remember when the Lakers traded for Anthony Davis. And I remember going to that season, man. It was like, man, the Hurricane. Well, I refer to his name, LeBron James. Better known as the Hurricane, and Anthony Davis. They're going to become better than Shaq and Kobe. Do you know when I first heard that, man, I chuckled. And it wasn't necessarily because of AD. It wasn't necessarily because of Anthony Davis. I just heard this morning, I heard a talking head say that the Hurricane Luka Doncic is way beyond Showtime Lakers. I'm like, whoa. See, it's too much talk. Today's sports commentary, there's too much talking. There's too much bloviating. There's too much trying to gas up people. And when it don't work out, man, then they start searching for scapegoats and trades and coaches getting fired. It's too much talking. It's too much trying to prop up. Showtime was they proved to be a dynasty over a 10-year period. Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol was better than the Hurricane and AD. Much less Kobe and Shaq, or Shaq and Kobe. But what they forget to realize is, man, first of all, Kobe and Shaq didn't join forces. Kobe was brought in as a rookie. They essentially drafted Kobe. Now they acquired his draft rights. They acquired the rights to draft Kobe, let me put it that way, by trading Vlade Divac. Kobe was 17 years old when he was drafted. And then a month later, they signed Shaquille O'Neal as a free agent. Shaquille O'Neal was only entering his 5th year. It wasn't like he was an 8-year veteran, a 7-year veteran, like Anthony Davis. Kobe and Shaq had to build that dynamic up over a period of time. It took them 3 years, man. 1997, 1998, and 1999. They had to go through the wars, man. They had to go up against a tremendous Utah Jazz team. Contrary to popular belief, people gonna say they were slow, or they'll make up, references to, their racial representation on the team, being a predominantly, as they say, a predominantly white team. If you really look at it, I mean, it was a great balance, man. But they can ball. They can ball. And they went to the finals 2 years in a row. And the only reason they lost was because of Michael Jordan. That's the only reason they lost. To Michael Jordan. So what I'm saying is, then you got the Spurs. They had to go through Utah and the Spurs. Right? Well, they had to go through the wars. Kobe had to go through that. He had to go through that, like Doug Collins said, man. This was during the 2000 playoffs. I'll never forget it, man. It was like 2000 playoffs, and Doug Collins, who was the color analyst for NBA on NBC basketball, he said, in order to become a champion, you got to get your heart broke. That's not what happened with the Hurricane and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was traded for an all-time win-out scenario. They didn't go through the wars, man. That means something. Jordan and Pippen went through the wars, man. I can sit here and say Nikola Jokic went through the wars over a 7-year period. But Kobe and Shaq, they had to face some tremendous teams, man. Portland Trailblazers, the Phoenix Suns when they had Penny Hardaway and Jason Kidd and Wesley Person and Rodney Rogers. That team, they had a hell of a team, dog. Then, of course, the Sacramento Kings, dog. The Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, we can go on and on and on. They had to go through, different variations of the Spurs teams, then the Utah Jazz, teams like that. But they had to go through a prime team to win. It built up their resolve. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, I remember it was doing all that talking, dog. I'm just sitting there like, man, Kobe and Shaq, that's a whole nother level, man. Once they got going, man, you just feel confident when nobody gonna beat them, dog. Because Kobe, at that time, man, he refused to lose. Go check out some of his post-game interviews during them big-time playoff games. He said we wouldn't have it any other way, but we refused to lose. We didn't come here to lose. Shit. Especially what Kobe did. Go back and look at what Kobe Bryant did in the 2001 NBA playoffs. There's only one player that I ever seen from the wing position that ever played at that level. Kobe was what? At that point, Kobe was about 23 years old. There's only one player I've ever seen play at that level, man. That was Michael Jordan, man. There's only one player from the wing position I've ever seen play like that, man. He destroyed the competition. So what I'm trying to say is, man, when they put these teams together, see, that's another thing. That's another drawback of the super team era. You pair up superstars, man, and these talking heads, man, who the way they thinking the more you stack the deck, the greater advantage that you have. Now, you may roll through the regular season, but the problem is, man, you're missing something. You're missing something. That competitive mindset from a superstar, it takes a hit. It takes a hit. You don't play. Now, you know, they banking on Luka coming up in here and playing like he did when he was a Dallas Maverick. But the thing is, Luka was supposed to be a Dallas Maverick. Well, you know, the common thought was he was going to be darn near a lifer with Dallas. In his heart, he's a Dallas Maverick. So he may get here, man. He may not play like he did. I'm not saying one way or another, but I'm just saying he may not play like he did in Dallas for the Lakers. You see what I'm saying? But when Shaq signed, he signed as a free agent for 8 years. So you knew he was a Laker. Remember what they said when they traded for Anthony Davis? This is the picture that they painted. They say, and this is not against Anthony Davis, man. I like I said, I think he was undervalued when he requested a trade from his own team, and now he's just a footnote. See, Shaq ain't no footnote in Laker history. Shaquille O'Neal, now, you know, I know him and Kobe had a back and forth. I know they had a, you know, beef in terms of who team, you know, who's the alpha. But at the end of the day, Shaq played 8 years for this franchise, and he helped us win 3 championships. And that's why he got his jersey retired. That's why he got a statue outside of, well, what used to be Staples Arena. He gave us, as a free agent, to play 8 years. And what I mean, Shaquille O'Neal gave us 8 years. They weren't missing the playoffs. They weren't like 1 year they win 50 games, and next year they win in, you know, 43 games or 34 games, 33 games. No, they was consistently winning. I think they first year with Shaq, I believe they won something like 56 games. And then the year 2, they won like 61 games, 61 and 21. And then in the lockout year 99, I think they recorded something like 31 and 19. You know, because they only had 50 games that year. And then boom, their first year, you know, when they hired Phil Jackson, and when Kobe Bryant, when he really became a fixture of that team, you know, when they really allowed him to play, you know, they won 67 games. So on average, they was winning 59 games a year. You may well say 58, 59 games a year. That's not what this team been doing since they brought the Hurricane to the team. They ain't won 50 games outside the year of the bubble, and where they finish up this year is only a result of continuing to mortgage more of your future way that included a trade involving a 2031 first round pick to try to bring in a big man that was rescinded. That's the only reason they're in this position right now, because they keep mortgaging the future away. Otherwise, this thing was over 3 years ago when they went 33 and 49. The gig been up. Now it's just about how much are you willing to go to 2033 to continue to try to win now? That's basically where it's at. But what I'm saying is, man, this. This is not against Anthony Davis. This is about the situation. When they said them two was going to be better than Kobe and Shaq, man, I chuckled. I said, there's no way in the world that they haven't even accomplished more than Kobe and Powell. I can sit here and say, and see, the two stars were the driving forces. You didn't hear this talk about, well, they need more around them, where the onus is placed on the role players. That's not what it was with Kobe and Shaq. Kobe and Powell was based on the two best players. The two stars was, you know, especially during the Kobe and Shaq years, or Shaq and Kobe years. So, Kobe and Powell, they was averaging Shit, first year together, 57 wins. Then the '09 season, 65, 57, 57. And then the lockout year, they won something like 42. I think it was like 42 and 26. And then the year, the next year, where Kobe injured his Achilles when he was trying to lead the team to the playoffs with Dwight Howard on the team. Well, once he injured his Achilles, and then Steve Nash was hurt the majority of the time, they still made the playoffs. They still made the playoffs, winning 45 games. But I'm saying they had a real run. That's what I'm trying to say. They had a real run, and sooner or later your run gonna end, and then it's another team that's gonna become better than you and take over, man. But all I'm trying to say is this, man. It was nowhere in the world them two was gonna be better than Kobe and Shaq, man. I'm sorry. It's too much. It's just too much bloviating, man. You would think a conversation would be something like, well, can they accomplish something similar to what Kobe and Shaq, or to equal Kobe and Shaq? This is what they got to do. Something like that. But as soon as they pit the players together, oh, they better than Kobe and Shaq. Man, come on, dog. This is it. So, like I said, man, I'm just a fan. I try to uphold the history, man. Like I said, Kobe, man, people gotta understand, man, them series versus, man, like when they start winning, they face major challenges, man. The Western Conference Finals versus Portland. Portland had a more talented team. And we took a 3-1 lead, and then Portland won the next two games to show that they from top to bottom, they was more talented team. But in Game 7, man, Kobe Bryant rose to the occasion. 25 points, 11 rebounds. He was 22 years old, and he was already the best closer in basketball, and the facilitator on the Lakers, and the best perimeter defender at 22. Think about that. 22 years old, hitting big shots, and he delivered the greatest alley-oop in playoff history to Shaq. Kobe to Shaq. That kicked off their championship run. The Spurs with Prime Duncan, David Robinson, Defensive Player of the Year, Antonio Daniels. Sean Elliott wasn't no joke either, coming out of the University of Arizona, 3-time All-American, coming out of Arizona. Avery Johnson, Malik Rose. Then, of course, the Sacramento Kings, and probably the Lakers Kings series in '02 is probably the best playoff series since the 2000s started. That's probably the best playoff series because you knew it was going the distance. It was a rivalry out this world. They both played in the same division. And Sacramento had a deeper team, but we had two champions on that team, man. But like I said, this is nothing against Anthony Davis, man. It's like he a footnote now. You almost feel like he didn't even play on the team. The way they forgotten about him. But you can't forget the Kobe and Shaq. You can't forget it, man. They won some tremendous playoff battles, man. Tremendous playoff battles, dog. They still stand the test of time. That's why Shaq said, me and Kobe were the greatest big man, little man combo in the history of the game. Shaq know who Kobe was, man. And during the 01 playoffs, at the game 1 of the Western Conference Finals versus San Antonio on the road, when we beat them, now remember, San Antonio was picked to win the championship that year. They had home court, and the Lakers beat them in the first 2 games on the road in San Antonio. And that's when Shaq said, hey, Kobe, he the best player in the world. When I saw a tape of this kid, when Jerry West showed me a tape of this kid, I was like, whoa, we can do something special. And he said he out there giving everyone the business, dog. And when Shaq said it about Kobe, man, he meant that, man. Kobe became the best player in the world during the playoffs, boss. The Western Conference playoff. Because the conference finals, them 3 years from 2000 to 2002, they were the real finals. Whoever came out the Western Conference was going to win the championship. Either the Lakers, Portland, San Antonio, or Sacramento. And the Lakers prevailed each year, man. And They fell short of a four-peat because, at that point, you really, once you win 3 straight, man, what more can you really ask for? You know what I'm saying? And San Antonio finally broke through, and all you can do is congratulate them, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this was never comparison, dog. It was too much talking, man. It's too much talking and not enough winning. And what I mean by that, when Kobe and Shaq, yes, you felt they could win the championship, but they was losing the teams, man, that proved to be better during the postseason. But it made the Lakers develop their resolve to eventually become champions. And that's what the tandem of the Hurricane and AD were missing. They didn't go through the wars, man. And do you notice, over these past 5 years, when they played a team that was equal or had a superstar like Jokic, they couldn't beat them. They couldn't beat that type of team. But once Kobe and Shaq broke through, you didn't hear people saying, oh, man, they should avoid so-and-so in the first round. No, because they expected them to win because they were champions, dog. That's the difference, dog. It's a difference. It's a difference. So I just want to drop that nugget. Until next time, this is JB for BTB, Behind the Bench. And leave comments and thoughts.